Okay, we had a little rainstorm last night, so it is Thursday, the 27th of May. Got a little rain, which is nice, keep the dust down, and a number of things have happened so far. So we've got all the footings in place. You can see kind of the layout of the house. Squares in the middle are for posts supporting the two beams that'll go kind of side to side on the house, and support kind of that back hall that we're putting in place. If you look super carefully, you might be able to just make out the red string line. That's going to be the outside of the wall. There's a nail there, right, which would be the corner of the wall, and the footing, of course, sticks out beyond it, which is pretty nice. All the way down, there's the family room. So Liz ran into the the concrete guy yesterday while he was, I think, laying this out, and seems like they're going to be in either tomorrow, I don't know, maybe this afternoon, but tomorrow it's Labor Day, Memorial Day weekend, and so there will be somebody here before Tuesday, because apparently they're pouring foundation on Tuesday. So we'll try to get in this weekend, do just maybe a little bit of cleanup, make sure that the very edges here, which will be stone and drainage pipe, we'll try to clean them out as best we can, get rid of the big rocks and get rid of the chunky over pour there. They may just fill it back up again, but I don't know. We'll do what we can do while we can. You might notice that the tops are all painted on all those footings as well. It's not paint, it's a capillary break. It's basically a fluid applied vapor barrier. It's not for like bulk moisture, but it will stop the flow of water kind of from the ground up into the basement walls once they are poured. Everything else is going to be sealed. It'll be sealed on the outside. It'll have a membrane on the inside that's permeable so that it dries to the inside of the basement, because the basement's going to be dry. We just don't want to be trying to pull moisture out of the ground. And the vast majority of the dirt here is all going to have a vapor barrier on top of it too. I think it's a 10 mil poly that they're using, and then tying into everything else. So that vapor barrier that we start kind of with this fluid applied is then going to get sealed on the outside to this fluid applied, and then onto from the inside to the vapor barrier over the whole basement floor. It goes up the wall on the inside of the that's a vapor permeable on the wall that gets tied over the top of the wall and then runs along the outside of the exterior walls all the way to the top of the second floor walls, where it ties into the roof system. And since the roof is going to be kind of a cathedral ceiling on the third floor, that vapor barrier is coming on the inside of the roof, so it's kind of flowed back and forth on the inside, then the outside, then again on the inside. And again, each of those transitions is a different product to make sure that it is drying and being the proper barrier that you need on the correct side of the insulation. You know, in the basement, we're going to be on the inside of the insulation. on the first and second floors, we will be predominantly on the outside of the insulation, although we will have some exterior insulation as well. But the bulk of the insulation is going to be in the walls, and we will be outside of those stud walls. And then for the roof structure, we'll be on the inside of the insulation, and they'll also be doing a vented space, so basically some sleepers on the roof after the roof is built and installed, and then sleepers to prevent condensate and moisture buildup on the substrate of the roof. So it's a pretty cool system. It is extra work. It's not actually a lot of extra material, and the net result is we're almost double code in all the systems. So if you're willing to spend the time and think it through, it doesn't necessarily cost a lot of extra materials. So it's just buying the right ones, putting them in the right place, and thinking about it, thinking it through. So that's what we're trying to do. I actually got to participate in this part. Don't tell the architects. But I got to they let me put the fluid applied down, save a guy. It took me a lot longer than I thought. It's about 4 hours to get it all down, between sweeping it all and knocking off the high spots and sweeping it again, and making sure that we got tight around all of those pieces of rebar, because that's probably the easiest weeping location where water's going to try to get in there. So I'm sure it's not perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better than a typical build, and that's kind of what we're going for. It's not going to be a perfect passive house or anything, but it's going to be a really high efficiency house that'll be easy to control, whether it be thermally or for moisture or any of the systems that we put in place. We're trying to make it smart and easy to maintain. So I think that's it for this one. When the forms get done, I think there'll be a lot to talk about. We've got a couple of cool things going on with concrete pour too. So until next time, have a nice Memorial Day. See you later.